Hey, I'm Chris Van Vliet. Go behind the scenes and beyond the headlines with the biggest names in pro wrestling and beyond.
Jeff Jarrett, great to see you.
In this business, the story behind the scenes, so much more entertaining than what you see on camera.
Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Paul Heyman.
Mr. Heyman, you are a master at the little things. That's how you turn good into great.
What does it take to achieve greatness? Whatever it takes, I'm willing to do.
That's an Emmy-winning performance.
How about it?
Insight with Chris Van Vliet. Follow and listen on your favorite platform.
It is 11 o'clock, hour number 2. Appreciate Wimp Sanderson joining us in hour number 1. Brett Ciancia will join us momentarily from Pick 6 Previews, the most accurate preseason magazine over the last 10 years. He'll join the program momentarily. Monday, SEC Football Media Days. We will have boots on the ground. Jocks will have wall-to-wall coverage in Tampa, Florida. First time ever that the SEC Football Media Days will be in the state of Florida, needless to say, in the city of Tampa. We are so excited to be joined by our next guest. Brett Ciancia joins the program from Pick 6 Previews. He joins us to talk about the 2026 season. Brett, I hope you're well, my friend.
Hey, guys. Thanks for having me on. I appreciate it. It's that time of year here. It's Preview Magazine season. Just published the 2026 edition on Monday, so really excited to break down the season upcoming. And, yeah, we got hard copies coming off the printing press and shipping them out, so I'm really excited.
Well, first off, before we get started with the preseason preview, and your magazine is the most accurate over the last 10 seasons, I just want to congratulate you personally. I am a Football Writers Association of America member, and I was very happy of the Rising Star Award that our organization gave you here recently. So congratulations on that.
Good job, Brett.
Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, I was very honored to get that award, and you know, I don't really fit in the normal category. I mean, a lot of them are beat writers that cover one team, and they're on the ground there every day at practice. Others are reporters, other journalists. I'm kind of in a different category here, doing the Preview Magazine and some game recaps throughout the season with my Pick 6 Plus product. But it's been great making so many connections across the country with so many FWAA writers. So it was truly an honor to be recognized. And yeah, let's carry it forward in the 2026 season. But yeah, truly an honor.
Brett, you don't have to give away all your secrets, but with your rankings, which we're going to reveal to our listeners and our viewers, what goes into how you get these? Where do these metrics, where do these numbers in your mind, how does it all work?
Yeah, well, I started calling it just a never-ending research project. It really is. I mean, it starts the fall prior. I mean, it starts in the fall on Saturdays. I'm watching 4 screens for 14 hours, watching as much game as I can. Then watching recaps Sunday, and then, looking at practice reports and game recaps, everything I could find during the season. Off season is when the real research begins. That's talking to head coaches, talking to coordinators, watching spring games if they still have them, any kind of practice reports I can find. And then, of course, it's putting it into readable terms, too, because I try and talk about the schemes, the X's and O's, transfer portal. If it sounds like a long list, I mean, it really is. It's just a very exhaustive process. But and then I have, of course, my numbers, my game grader formula. So I like it's a balance between my numbers and then also all the research that goes in. But, yeah, truly a never-ending process. Finally excited to get it to print and publish it here this week.
All right, let's dive into the Southeastern Conference. We believe that it will be an extremely competitive year, mainly because the SEC has added that additional conference game. It's now 9 as opposed to the previous 8. Georgia, Texas, that seems to be most everyone's thought process in regards to the top. But you also have a tie in there. You've got Georgia number 1, but tying Texas at number 2 is Oklahoma. Tell us what you like about John Mateer and that Oklahoma Center team.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I mean, first off, on the SEC scope, I see 8 different playoff contenders. I think it's the conference with the most playoff contenders out there. You bring up a good point about the 9th conference game going around. So a lot of these 10-2 resumes from last year, they're going to look 9-3, and I think they're going to look a little bit worse in the eyes of the committee. I think it'll be more of a balance of the bids that go out between the Big Ten and the SEC. So I've got 4 Big Ten, 4 SEC this year. But, yeah, I like Georgia at the top. At Oklahoma, number 2, yeah, what I like from them is I know I'm getting a championship caliber defense. Brent Venables, he put together a masterpiece last year on defense and has a lot back. They rotated a lot too, so even though they're not called returning starters, it's a lot of experience coming back. So I know that side of the ball is championship caliber. And then on offense, remember last year, John Mateer busted up his hand halfway through the season. But when he's healthy, the pass offense looked better. He's now back healthy. He's got a second year within the SEC. after transitioning up from the Pac-12. So I think that's going to help him. It's also a second year for that offensive coordinator, Ben Arbuckle. And it was a really young offensive line last year. A lot of freshman five-star guys were breaking into the lineup. They're all back now as experienced sophomores and juniors. So I like Oklahoma both sides of the ball, especially that defense to carry them to Atlanta to play Georgia for the SEC title.
All right. I'm curious, and this is tongue-in-cheek, but what gives you pause about Texas? Aren't they supposed to win a national title?
Yeah, we hear that every summer, right? It's they're the preseason darling every year. I mean, Arch Manning again, Heisman favorite. I don't agree with that, but yeah, with Texas, look, I mean, last year when you look back on it, my game grader formula had him 8th in the SEC. I had him 22nd overall nationally. So it's not like they're already starting at a playoff tier. They need to show me improvement, 10, 12 spots better than last year. And I do think that they upgraded a lot of spots. I think they had a great transfer portal haul this year. I mean, the running back duo could be the best in the country. A lot of defensive pieces were added, which I like. But until I see it happen from Texas, I mean, it's almost like you got to prove it at some point. So last year was way overhyped coming in, and they looked at 8-4, 9-3 last year. So they got to go prove it. Now, all that said, I still have them in my top 10. I've got them 7th nationally. They're tied in 2nd, so call it 3rd in the SEC. So I still like what we have with Texas, but they got to go prove it before you earn a number 1 ranking again.
We're talking to Brett Ciancia, joins us here on the Higginbotham Hotline as we're talking Pick Six Previews, the most accurate preseason magazine in the last 10 years. Joins us here on Three Man Front. He's been hitting it out of the park for some time. He's been on our show the last few years as we get ready for the 2026 season. All right, so we mentioned Georgia at 1, Oklahoma, Texas, 2, 3. Then you've got Ole Miss, but I want to ask you about team number 5 on your SEC preseason list, and that's LSU with Lane Kiffin.
Yeah, this is really the storyline of 2026, I think. It's definitely up there. I mean, it was the storyline of the whole offseason, the way that Lane Kiffin kicked off the coaching carousel, which ended up being the biggest carousel I've ever seen in college football history. So he kicked that whole thing off, the Lane Kiffin sweepstakes, lands at LSU, brings 50 transfers in, the number 1 transfer class in the country. And not just with transfer rankings, but they had a nice recruiting pipeline at LSU. And if you look at the mock draft for 2027, I know we're early, but I like to look at that a little ahead of schedule. They're number 1 in projected picks. So this roster is loaded. But I really grappled with this one, whether to put them in the playoff bracket or not. I have them 1 spot outside of the bracket there at 13th nationally. And, what gave me some pause there was just the sheer amount of transfers. And I know if anybody can do it, it's Lane Kiffin, the portal king himself, as he's called. But I just think it's too much change too quick. They also get hit with a tough September. I mean, Clemson, I think they'll beat, but then you got to go at Ole Miss in Kiffin's return to the Grove, and then A&M comes in the week after that. So they got some tough games right away. I think they're going to go 9-3, 8-4, and be just on the outside of the bracket. But this is one of the storylines of the year, like I said, because not only is it LSU themselves, but they're playing all these other playoff caliber teams. So they're either going to spoil somebody's season or they're going to make it themselves. That's where I'm at with LSU. And I said this on another show. I think they're the most volatile team in the SEC. I mean, they might go 16-0. They might go 6-6. It's just we have no clue what they're going to look like this year.
Brett, what about Texas A&M? You have them right behind LSU in the 6th spot. For the Aggies, Mike Elko, they get to a college football playoff last year. And how much did just their history, lack of relevance when it comes to big games, forgive me, Aggie fans, how much did that play into this year's prognostication and you putting those numbers up?
Yeah, for sure. Well, I thought last year was a nice breakthrough season for them. They got to 11-0, and I know they came up short against Texas in the finale, but still the first playoff appearance for A&M. They had been wanting that for a long time. They got that off the checklist. But for this year, right away when I started the research, I noticed the lines of scrimmage. They're losing, I think, 8 of the 9 starters. If you talk 5 O-line, 4 D-line, I think 8 out of 9 are gone. So I almost threw them out of the top 25 on that alone. But then as I started researching it more, they really backfilled pretty well. I like it on the defensive line. They brought in Anto Saka from Northwestern, an all Big Ten guy. Really could push for All-American. Could be a top 10 draft pick next year on that D line. So I think they backloaded pretty well on the lines of scrimmage. They're going to be fine again there. The receiver core looks strong again. They got Craver back. And then Marcel Reed. People forget, up until that Texas fourth quarter, he was a Heisman candidate. So I like what they have. Again, it's such a competitive league where I've got them 6th in the SEC. That's good for 14th overall. So, really strong team. They're gonna upset some people, but I think still in that 9-3, 8-4 category this year.
Well, there are thousands of people across the great state of Alabama that are sitting here wondering, did we miss Brett mentioning Alabama? Because we haven't mentioned Alabama yet. You started this publication back in 2012, right in the middle of Alabama's dynasty with Nick Saban. And I got a feeling the reason why they come in at number 7 on your preseason list in the SEC is because there's just so many darn questions that need to be answered.
Yeah, that's a perfect way of putting it. And since 2012, I've been covering this, and I don't remember an Alabama roster with this many questions here in spring, in July and August, heading into the year. And usually the questions are just which 5-star is going to win the job. I mean, there are some deeper questions here heading into the season. Run the ball, stop the run. I mean, that's a big part of college football, a huge part of college football, especially in the SEC. And last year they really struggled with both, especially running the ball. Ended up being Alabama's worst rushing attack in 100 years of them keeping stats down there. So got to be able to fix that run game a little bit. But when you look at it, 4 offensive lineman starters are gone. A lot of the defenders are gone too in that front 7. And I never saw this from Alabama, where not only were graduating seniors leaving and juniors heading pro early, but starters were transferring out of here, and key guys from the 2 deep were transferring out of Alabama. So that's just something I hadn't seen from them. And, they recruit like the best of them. I'm sure there are still some unproven names coming up the depth chart. That's why I keep them still in the playoff hunt. I still have them in the top 16. I call them a playoff contender still, just not projected in there. They have too many questions. And heck of a season last year. 4 straight wins over ranked wins. That's SEC history right there. So we'll see if they can do that again. But I have a lot of questions for them this year.
Quite the commentary on Auburn, meanwhile, because right after Alabama and Tennessee being tied for 7th in your preseason standings, you have the Auburn Tigers coming in 9th. I think Auburn fans, just given the last 6 years, they'd probably take that, Brett.
Yeah, absolutely. And I was thinking about this. Back in 2013, remember, they had the miracle at Jordan-Hare, then they had the kick 6 a week later. It just seems like they used up all their good fortune in 2013 because they were kind of cursed last year. I said this, they looked a lot better than their record showed. And I know Auburn fans don't want to hear that. You want to actually win the games, but and cash in on close games. But so many close finishes went against them last year. I think they were stronger than the record. The defense was pretty strong, and they were in my top 20 in my opponent-adjusted rankings. You keep the coordinator there. You keep an All-American at linebacker with Atkins coming back and a couple key starters back on defense. So I like that part of the ball that was retained. Now it's just a question of, can you really import the USF offense right away? Is that going to click right away in the SEC? That's a question, but I like that continuity that he's bringing. He's got his quarterback. He's got his, 5 receivers, 4 linemen. It's the whole system coming in. Maybe they'll take some growing pains early, but I think they're going to make a bowl, and I have them right in there in the top 25. So I think it's going to be a nice bounce back for Auburn.
Okay, Brett, let's talk big picture. Let's talk about your college football playoff. You released this a couple of days ago in regards to the SEC. They've got 4 teams, according to you, that will make the college football playoff this year. Overall, you just mentioned Alabama could be potentially one of those teams that would compete for one of those slots in the college football playoff. But overall, big picture, who do you see ultimately being the couple teams nationally speaking that will be in that mix maybe in the Final Four once the CFP gets down to that?
Yeah, well, it's interesting. It's the first time in Pick Six Preview's history where if you look at my top 4, not a single SEC team in there. I like what I see with Oregon. They're my national champion pick this year. Just the sheer recruiting firepower that Dan Lanning has landed there. It's 3 straight top 10 classes and then 2 transfer top 10 classes. Number 1 quarterback back, Dante Moore. I really like Oregon. I like Miami. They had a heck of a run in January last year. Lines of scrimmage are tough, and they upgraded a quarterback with Darian Mensah. Notre Dame, this is a team that I know they were left out last year, and I think deservedly so. I think if you lose that head-to-head to Miami, they didn't belong in the bracket. But power ratings-wise, number 4 for me last year, and they check in number 4 again this year. And then I've got Ohio State still in the top 4. It's just a recruiting giant, and they have one of the best defenses in the country. So that's my top 4. From there, though, here comes the SEC because 8 of the next 12 teams are SEC teams. And really, the cut line is going to be 9-3. So whether you get that ninth win, you're going to be in the race for a spot. If you're stuck at 8-4, you're out. So any of these teams, Tennessee, Bama, A&M, LSU, they're all within a game. I mean, it's just a coin flip game if get it, they're going to be in there. But yeah, thanks guys for putting out my bracket yesterday on Twitter. I love seeing that video, and I saw Molly was cracking up seeing the matchups because the way I have it, I have Texas going to Texas Tech. They've had some off-season wars back and forth over there in the Lone Star State, and another juicy one. I got USC going to Notre Dame in the freezing cold in December after they broke off their rivalry. So not to mention a Boise State-Oklahoma rematch. So, yeah, I would love for these to come true. I know you guys were enjoying that, too, yesterday.
Oh, no, we were. And listen, I wish Brett was on the College Football Playoff Committee because that's what we need in there. We need people that want to see these matchups because once USC said, hey, we're not playing Notre Dame, put those two teams playing each other. Hey, Texas Tech. Yeah. I'd love to see Sark on the road in Lubbock. Wouldn't you? I mean, that would be just exciting. So, yeah, we need to get Brett on the CFP committee. That would be fantastic.
Hey, I'll take
Got my vote.
There's no doubt. Listen, Pick Six Previews, the most accurate preview magazine in the last 10 years. Brett, it's always great to have you on. This is a must-have. Tell everybody they want to order this, hard copy, digital copy. Tell our audience how they can get their hands on the most accurate preview magazine.
Oh, well, thanks. I appreciate the praise and for having me. We got to catch up again before the season starts. And, yeah, pick6previews.com. That's the only place you can find it. It's online, pick6previews.com. We have the hard copy. If you buy the hard copy, you also get the digital PDF right away. That way, for the couple days where it's being shipped, you have access right away. So that's the season preview magazine. We got samples, testimonials up there. We also have an in-season product. If you like the magazine, you're going to want it updated every Tuesday in the fall. Picks, projections, against the spread picks. That's called Pick 6 Plus, and you see that on the website as well. So we'd love to have you there.
Absolutely. That's Brett Ciancia, Pick Six Previews. Brett, we will absolutely catch up before we officially get kicked off in about a month or so. Best to you, and again, congratulations on the national award. Appreciate it.
Brett.
Oh, thanks so much, guys. Have a good one.
Thank you so much. Brett joined us on the Higginbotham Hotline. Higginbotham is your one-source solution for insurance, financial, and HR services.
Well, when the heavy storms and the heavy rains, they roll in, you can have peace of mind knowing that your biggest investment, most likely your home, that's mine, is protected with our friends at Noto Roofing. You're going to deal directly with the owners, Sammy and Matt Noto. I grew up with these guys. They're guys that you can trust, but also a guy I've gotten to know is their field superintendent, Chris. Chris will come out to your home. If you're a Jocks listener, they're offering free inspections. He'll walk your roof like he did ours, and hopefully he finds nothing and tells you you're good to go like he has many of our Jocks listeners. But in our case, we had hail damage. We had microscopic amounts of water that were coming through the decking, through the shingles, what used to be the shingle, through the decking of the home and going into the attic, unbeknownst to me. We had big problems that were brewing. They found that in the inspection we got with the insurance company. It was a seamless process. We got the new roof, got the new decking. We're happy. You can be happy as well. Just have that peace of mind with Noto Roofing, NOTOroofing.com. That's Noto, NOTOroofing.com, or 205-848-2299. When Sammy answers the phone, tell him Landrum from Jocks sent you.
When we come back on Three Man Front, we will dive further into what Brett just told us. Alabama tied for 7th in the SEC.
Conrad needs a Kleenex.
He's a bit upset. We'll get into that. Do a deep dive on Three Man Front.
Deep breath.
It's 11:22. Welcome back in on this Friday. And that signifies, Landrum, that we do have breaking news. So let's send it over to the breaking news desk where our very own Conrad Van Order has some recruiting news. Conrad.
Oh, I got to do this one? Yeah, so we have been...
Overrated! Overrated!
So a kid that we've been talking, we've talked a lot about, we've talked with him, with Rodney about him a lot, but the number one receiver in the country, Monshun Sales, he recently committed moments ago on the Pat McAfee show, and he made his announcement that he will be attending Indiana University. He will not be going to Alabama. He's going to Indiana.
Okay.
Yeah.
So he's
he looks terrible.
You know, it's just shocking to think.
He looks small on the TV, doesn't it?
He's like a guy that's scared.
Yeah, he looks small.
It is shocking that someone would go to a television show in Indianapolis, Indiana, and commit to go anywhere but a school that is literally 30 to 45 minutes down the road.
Correct. Yeah, there was no.
Yeah, that's if anyone thought that he was going to choose anything but Indiana, you were fooling yourself.
We should have never let him get out of the state. This is what happens.
You're absolutely right. This is what happens. So I am awaiting the phone call from Don about how no money, or Alabama has no money. And we don't have Indiana money, apparently. But, yeah, congratulations to him. It's a big moment for him.
You can go be the star in that offense.
Yeah, no, he will. I mean, I would imagine. I mean, is he the best recruit they've ever had? Maybe in the history of that football program?
Probably.
If you want to take away Michael Penix, but Michael Penix wasn't a 5-star, was he?
Yeah, I don't think we knew that Michael Penix was going to be Michael Penix.
They've had a few, but yeah, I would say this would be the biggest from my memory.
So there you go, Signetti. They're doubling down. They're not going anywhere.
So we just had Brett Ciancia on from Pick Six Previews, and he predicts that Alabama will finish 7th in the SEC. Auburn would finish 9th. He did say that Auburn would go to a bowl game. Said that Alabama may be on the outside cusp of looking at a college football playoff berth if certain things happen. Because keep in mind, I mean, he does have some ties in there, which he says that Oklahoma and Texas is tied for 2nd. Alabama and Tennessee would be tied for 7th. So
I thought it was interesting what he said about Texas A&M, and the reason that he had them a little bit lower, still vying for a playoff spot, was how many guys they lost on the offensive and defensive line. He said, 8, 9 guys that they lost?
Mm-hmm.
That's significant. And we know that they've replenished with some, one former Alabama offensive lineman in particular.
So his Power 4 rankings, if you missed it, he's got Oregon, Ohio State, Miami, and Notre Dame, and he pointed out that this is the first time since he has put this magazine together that there was not an SEC team in the top 4. Once again, the SEC going to 9 conference games. We all got to get used to the fact that teams that went 10-2, you're going to get used to seeing them at 9-3 now. Just going to have to remember that. He's got Georgia at 5, Oklahoma at 6, Texas 7, Texas Tech 8, Indiana 9, Ole Miss 10. Then he's got USC, LSU, Texas A&M, Michigan, and then Tennessee 15. Bama would come in at number 16. And as I'm going down his list, he would have Auburn at 26. That's pretty consistent where you see Auburn in a lot of these preseason magazines.
One difference in his and a lot of them that you've seen is where Florida is in his.
Yeah, he's got Florida 29.
And where in the SEC? 11th or 12th?
Yeah. Yep.
So that was one that differed a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe a little stronger on South Carolina than I am. Maybe you are through our conversations, but no, there's a reason why that.
No, he's the most accurate.
We do have him on, and we tout that because it's absolutely a fact.
Yeah, he's the most accurate preseason magazine.
It's like with Rocco with bracketology. It's the same thing.
Mm-hmm. We try to get you
folks that know their stuff.
Yeah, people that are experts in their field, and Brett has done an incredible job. And listen, we have difference of opinions. Langell has some of his picks that I know that he's not too keen on. Likewise, I don't think Oklahoma is going to be the second best team in the SEC this year, and that's mainly because of their schedule.
But one thing we can say with all certainty, and that's his livelihood, is we have not studied those rosters nearly as much as he has.
Not like he has. No. He knows the Oklahoma roster better than I do.
Yeah. See how it all plays out. Oregon at number 1. If there was going to be a year, feels like this would be the year.
See it to believe it.
You got your quarterback. You got everything you like. Path of least resistance. You play in the Big Ten. You got a new uniform every week. That's got to be cool.
Very much so. This is a big weekend up in New York, New Jersey. You know, DraftKings is live in all 50 states. Yes, that means you, Alabama. The Cup is down to its final matches. 1 trophy, 1 champion. DraftKings has you covered for every single one. The DraftKings app is now live in Alabama. So whether you're catching the early kickoff before work or that late match at the bar, you're in on every minute, every match, every moment, all in one app. Right here in Alabama, the world's biggest stage is in the palm of your hand. New DraftKings customers sign up with code JOX945, spend $5 to get $200 in total rewards over 21 days. That's code JOX945. In partnership with DraftKings, the crown is yours. Event trading offered by DraftKings Predictions, a CFTC registered introducing broker. Trading involves risk of loss. Market availability varies. Eligibility restrictions apply. $50 every 7 days via click-to-claim issued in non-withdrawable predictions dollars that expire in 1 year, ends July 19th. Terms, dkng.co/predictions promo.
Coming up next, we have time to get to the Jocks text line, some of your texts, as well as a special honor coming for one former NFL player. We'll tell you who it is, what they're doing. That's next.
205-834-9450. Top of the hour, we will talk some Braves baseball as they get ready to host the Texas Rangers this weekend as the second half of the season officially gets underway. No big surprise, Chris Sale on the bump tonight for the Atlanta Braves as they pick up a half game in the standings last night as the Philadelphia Phillies lost to the New York Metropolitans there in Philly. So
yeah, good job, Mets. Alvarez, Beatty. Seen the Braves to start the second half the way they started the first half.
We have the Dodgers.
That's a tough draw coming out of the break.
I do not like that to start the second. No, that's tough.
Tease it. Tennessee Titans announced they're inducting former running back Chris Johnson into their Ring of Honor. Well deserved. The ceremony is going to take place during halftime of the team's season opener at Nissan Stadium on Sunday, September 13th. And the honor comes after the 40-year-old Johnson revealed last month he has been diagnosed with ALS. Well, we were talking about it at the break. It was like one day you turned on the highlights and it's like, who is this Chris Johnson running back? Wow. He is really, really fast.
It is kind of cool, though, because I don't know if y'all have seen any of the videos, but if you remember the Ice Bucket Challenge from a few years ago, people have started to bring that back. I know I saw Mark Wahlberg. He did it, I think it was yesterday, in support of Chris Johnson, and you've had a number of celebrities kind of bring that back. So it's a sad situation, but it is nice to know that people are rallying around him and trying to bring attention to that disease and trying to do everything we can to learn more about it and hopefully prevent it in the future. But very well deserved for Chris Johnson. He was one of a kind, man. He's awesome.
So when LSU and the University of Mississippi, they get together, the first SEC conference game of the year, Kiffin's former employer, they meet on the gridiron. That will be September 19th, just 3 games into the college football season. There's going to be even more fuel to the competitive fire. Why? Is because days before the game, a recent guest on this radio show is publishing a book entitled Lane Being Lane, the story of Lane Kiffin, college football's agent of chaos, written by John Talty. It has just been announced a few moments ago. He says it's a biography, but I think it's more than that. College sports has undergone unbelievable transformation, especially in just the last 6 years. And the argument is no one has capitalized more than the change than Lane. I think you can kind of track the evolution of football through Lane Kiffin. Also included in the book is a non-zero number of F-bombs, unsurprising given the colorful vocabulary of Lane Kiffin. So this will be a true behind-the-scenes look at Lane Kiffin. Once again, the name of the book, Lane Being Lane, by John Talty, will be out in September, just days before the Ole Miss game.
I wonder how many of Lane's personal excursions will be included in this book. Just saying his personal life. We're going to get hot yoga, the 20-something-year-old he's dating this week. What are we getting?
Well, now there was a report last night that, he's racked up $40,000 in travel expenses on the private plane.
That's correct. According to the LSU Board of Supervisors documents, LSU coach Lane Kiffin used his contract, because he's got in his contract, he's not doing anything illegal, it's in his contract, that he used the private air travel on a family trip to Boca Raton, costing LSU donors approximately $40,000. Kiffin received 65 hours of personal private flight time each year in his contract, a perk that former head coach Brian Kelly did not have in his contract. Matter of fact, right now, Kim Mulkey and Will Wade, they don't have that in their contracts.
Well, Kim had it in her original, but maybe her newest, she doesn't have it.
She doesn't now.
I guess she got compensated when they said you can buy your own plane.
Or you can fly Southwest and we'll reimburse you.
Yeah.
LSU declined to respond to a request for comment regarding the number of hours Kiffin used for the trip to Boca Raton. The nearly $40,000 tab for the trip was paid for by the Tiger Athletic Foundation in March, though the report does not detail when the trip occurred and how long it was. The documents also show that the Tiger Athletic Foundation spent nearly $65,000 for 4 other private plane trips for business purposes for Lane Kiffin between January and March. Kiffin's ex-wife, Layla, children and nephew accompanying him for several of those business trips. Kiffin's trip was funded by the Tiger Athletic Foundation, as we mentioned, but the bulk of the $13 million compensation that Kiffin gets is paid for by the university itself. His contract also does not specify that the travel must be paid by private donors. Because Kiffin is a state employee, benefits he receives from a private entity affiliated with the university that exceeds $1,000 must be reported to the board quarterly under Louisiana law. And that's why people are going to be doing this every quarter, because there are certain aspects and fringe benefits that Lane Kiffin will get. They'll have to be reported. And if people are doing this now before the first kickoff of him as the head coach of LSU, let him lose some games.
Oh, you start seeing how much we're paying for losses? How much Lane Kiffin is making to lose to whoever? Yeah, that'll. I'm just imagining negotiations with Lane Kiffin and how badly LSU wanted to get him, and they were going to make him their man. But Jimmy Sexton having those conversations with LSU, and it's like, well, private plane use, we want that in the contract. Well, Jimmy, we don't really do that anymore. We did that with Coach Mulkey, but after we restructured her, no, we feel like, well, sorry, it's no deal. We're going to Florida. You know what? Heck, we'll give it to you.
So he gets 65 hours of personal private flight time.
Does that count?
Year.
Is that airtime? Is that on tarmac? When are we starting the clock?
Wheels up, I would assume. I'd want that in the contract.
Yeah, I want that spelled out. Wheels up.
Wheels up.
And if we have to circle because of weather or something going on at the airport, that shouldn't count.
That's a lot of trips to Boca Raton. That's probably a pretty short flight.
But what's so interesting is because, so there was $40,000 for that particular trip, according to the story, to Boca Raton. And then you had his ex-wife, Layla, the children, and a nephew accompanied him for several, air quotes, business trips. So that's another $65,000. So already you're at $105,000, and he hasn't even been the coach yet for, 6 months?
Did they say it was just one plane, or women pack? Maybe
so
did
they fly the Vanity Fair guy in on the private jet, and then after some of the comments, they were like, "You're
all of Layla and Landry's,
you can find your own way
all
back
of Layla and Landry's shoes and everything that's on one plane, and then the actual family members on the other."
Well, Landry's still at Ole Miss, right? So does he bring her over to see her boyfriend on the weekends?
I don't think she's at Ole Miss anymore.
I thought she transferred.
Did she transfer?
I think the whole family. Yeah, I don't think there's anything left in Oxford, Mississippi.
To be fair, I probably wouldn't want to be her staying at Ole Miss after what Daddy did.
Yeah, I think her sorority membership transferred.
I'm sure that one was fine. Yes.
And meanwhile, Whit Weeks getting this private plane. I'm sure he's on these trips too.
Yeah, maybe so.
Was he on the list of LSU players?
He was.
That Nike?
He was.
He was? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, good.
I wonder how much ball he and Lane are talking on that trip.
They're just buddies.
Yeah, you get the feeling that Lane just lives ball. He's like a film hawk. Like every night as he's going to bed.
Yeah.
Like he's not watching Netflix. I mean, he's watching film.
Yeah. When he's going into that local tavern, he's not there running game.
No,
he's scratching out plays on cocktail napkins.
You better believe it.
One of these days, Whit, you're going to have to join me at hot yoga, brother. You're going to have to wake up and come on with me.
It's just crazy.
I'm going to have to pull you out of bed with Landry, get you on over to hot yoga with me. Come on now.
Oh, gosh. I don't know. Too much. Too much.
But my biggest takeaway was what we said earlier. He hasn't even coached a game yet. And we're already getting freedom of information requests. And people have already detailing. And he hasn't even coached a game yet.
Yep.
If it starts going south, then all of a sudden you're going to have the governor stand up there like he did before. We don't have any money. Those 40 people that he's inviting to the governor's mansion. Guys, we got to pay for these private planes. Layla's got to go down to Boca. We got to pay these people. I need you guys to step up.
Yeah.
You don't make the college football playoff back-to-back years.
You can stay in Boca.
People like Sean Fox and Matt Moscona, they will have radio gold for a very long time.
Yeah, T-Bob Bear.
He's Barstool now. He doesn't care.
He's having fun in Chicago.
Yeah, he doesn't care.
He still cares.
He
cares.
Still care.
It's not their top priority until Lane starts losing. Then it will be.
No, that's something they'll have fun with.
A lot of us will. It would be great.
Text line is open, 205-834-9450. We will get to your text. Phone lines are open as well on this Friday. We'll talk Braves baseball at the top of the hour. This is Three Man Front on Jocks.
11:46 here on Three Man Front Friday edition. Landrum, Pat, Conrad, and Molly. Brett Ciancia joining us. Pick Six preview, most accurate for the last 10 years. Interesting takes on the SEC. Very interesting thoughts on Alabama. It surprised Brett when he put together his rankings and just looking at Alabama and what Alabama doesn't have as compared to what they've had entering seasons in the past. Also got his thoughts on Auburn, the entire scope of college football, who your national champion is going to be. Pat, we invite people to go and to find that interview there at jocksfm.com on the Three Man Front podcast because Brett's very good at what he does.
Extremely good at his job. Next week around this time, a reminder, we will be at Social Taco. We will not be there Tuesday, SEC Football Media Days, Monday through Thursday, but we will be in Homewood at our typical location, Social Taco, from 10 until 2. But about 1 week from today, we should have released by the Southeastern Conference the SEC media poll. And it'll be interesting to see if that media poll mirrors what a lot of preseason magazines or what even Brett Ciancia just told us from Pick Six previews.
Yeah.
Where Alabama and Auburn fit into the pecking order.
Brett, as a matter of fact, had the Indiana Hoosiers coming in at number 9, and Indiana gets some really good news today. They get the highest rate commit in their program's history in 5-star wide receiver who we've talked about with Rodney Orr here on the show, Monshun Sales. He's number 18 in the SC Next 300, 6'5", 200-pound recruit from Indianapolis. He is the number 4 wide receiver prospect in the 2027 class, and he announces his commitment for Indiana over ultimately Alabama, Texas, Ohio State, and LSU.
Oh, this is great. So Royal Payne just tweeted in to the program, and I'm just going to read this. He gave me a Pat Ponders question, but since we were just talking about Lane Kiffin, I'll get your thoughts on this. He says, when it all goes south for Kiffin and LSU fans and Louisiana shenanigans one day, and it will, the Netflix-rated MA documentary in 5 years should be named what? Should it be Go, Lane, Go, XXX, or Tiger King 2, Electric Boogaloo?
I thought we were going to go double entendre football. I thought we were going to go like ground and pound or I don't know.
I like the Go with 3 X's. It's GEAUXXX.
That's good.
Lane Go with 3 X's or Tiger King 2 Electric Boogaloo.
How about Tiger Can't Change His Stripes? The story of Lane Kiffin. Yeah, the one with the 3 X's. Let's go with that one.
The Go, Lane, Go with the 3 X's.
Go, Lane, Go.
That's good. It's a good question.
And we're going to have to watch that documentary. Did you see like the owner of the yoga studio 15 years later?
Oh, the Ole Miss yoga person?
Yeah.
That's like.
Yep. Going back and recounting the days when Lane first walked into her studio.
Didn't that person have a tweet like literally after he took the job? And that person, I'm paraphrasing, mentioned something that it was so good to not have someone in the class dictate what music you play.
Yeah.
Didn't they have something like that?
Yep.
That gave the indication that Lane was very difficult to deal with?
Yeah, he was the DJ.
No, Pat.
We know he likes Taylor Swift. So it was all Taylor Swift? You think that was all his?
Is that good yoga music?
So I am curious. Do you guys think when he was doing hot yoga that he was doing it with like just anybody that had a membership there, or do you think?
I think there was a certain class that he was probably fond of and that he picked.
Or do you think he had after hours yoga?
What do you think?
Well, he went really early
Pat,
in the morning.
What do you think?
Well, the reason I'm asking you guys because there was one rider. Do you remember? Like he literally signed
that went
up,
to the class.
Like I think it might have been someone from the Jackson Clarion Ledger.
Yeah.
Like he went to Oxford and just signed up, and he literally was in class with Lane Kiffin. So it was not as controlled as I thought it would be.
Yeah, I guess he went.
So just a normal time, Lane would.
What was interesting was he was in there with their athletics director, Keith Carter. That's what we were told. Mm-hmm. That Keith Carter was a part of that yoga class.
And now Keith Carter is about to sue Lane Kiffin's players for not paying money back to Ole Miss for leaving.
How many people you think tried to sign up for that yoga? That's good pub for her studio.
Absolutely.
Do you think there were more women in the class?
Yes.
You think so?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't think it's just time that worked out for him. I think he was probably very particular about what class he joined.
I would assume, what are you talking, probably female to male ratio, 3
and
to 1?
By the way,
least.
I would be the same way. If I'm going to go in and do yoga, I don't want to be doing it with a bunch of dudes.
Let's say there's 25 people in the class. I would say 20 women, 5 dudes.
Yeah, I'm not saying all women, but I don't want all dudes in my yoga class.
No.
I'm just thinking about what I've seen and what you do in yoga. I don't want to be looking at that. You don't either, I hope.
No. Would you want to be on the front row or in the back?
Front row. Show my stuff off to the whole class. I don't know. Put me in the corner.
With a video camera?
When do the puppies run out?
Now, you guys tell me, why this makes sense. I just read this, that the ACC preseason poll, like the official one, I guess, that the media is voting for, will not come out until next week.
Nah, they got to tabulate the votes.
I mean, you've been in Charlotte for 3 days.
Well,
could you not,
It takes a while from Berkeley and Palo Alto to get their votes in.
I guess we maybe we take for granted.
You know how they count votes in California?
With that stuff.
That is true, by the way.
Yeah. Their voting is weird out there.
So the last 3 teams picked to win the ACC.
This could go on for weeks.
Last year, Clemson was picked to win it.
Yeah, that didn't work out.
They finished 7th. In 2024, Florida State won it. They were predicted to win it in 2024. They finished 17th. Mm-hmm. And then in 2023, Clemson was picked to win it. They were tied for 6th. So they've got about as good a track record as we do in the SEC.
Feel a little bit better about Miami this year than any of those other teams that they mentioned, though.
All right, be honest. Have you already sat down and come up with your rough SEC voting, how you're going to vote next week?
For the teams?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I have a general.
The predicted order of finish?
I have a general idea.
No, offensive line.
Yeah, no.
Jordan
Seaton.
Seaton.
But for teams, yes.
Jordan Seaton. Okay. Everybody else.
Nobody from Alabama.
Is Bama in your top 4?
Alabama?
Mm-hmm.
No, they would be 5th.
Okay. Where is Ryan Coleman Williams?
SEC Offensive Player of the Year?
No. I'm trying to remember how many receivers they let you pick.
Newcomer of the year? Because he's got a new name.
He would be in like the top 3 or 4 receivers for me.
Okay.
I think they let you pick 4 of those, maybe.
So no Alabama offensive player will make the list.
No, I said no Alabama offensive lineman.
Where is
you give what Alabama?
Oh, that I think will make the list. Oh yeah, no.
Yeah, none.
Will Isaiah Horton make your list?
Outside of Ryan Coleman Williams, maybe.
You'll probably have 2 on defense, probably.
Yeah, Bray Hubbard and Xavier Brown.
Yeah.
Hollywood Smothers.
Who?
Yeah, he'll be on the Texas.
Would he make your list?
I don't remember that guy.
Why? He was enrolled.
About 2 days.
Couldn't hold on to him.
No, I guess we couldn't.
We're going to talk Braves baseball coming up next. Barrett Salee will join the program.
Where is Lorcan Quinn on your ballot, Conrad? Answer this one way and the right way.
Honorable mention.
Are you serious?
Scrolling with Haley.
I am Haley Carania. I scroll with the homies here in the live chat because there's a lot to scroll through on X, on Instagram, on TikTok.
Cutting through the clutter, one hot take at a time.
Love seeing you all in the chat before the show. I tried to jump in just a few minutes before to say hello. I love the chat interaction. Thank you for helping. But I do it to get all of the videos and all of the content that you won't find anywhere else.
Scrolling with Haley.
Just search that up and I will be there.
Follow and listen on your favorite platform.
Scrolling with Haley. Join Haley Caronia as she scrolls through the biggest headlines.
If you haven't watched this show before, we do blind reactions. I have not seen these videos, so I am seeing them for the first time with all of you. We're going to implement the tinfoil hat time segments and all the stuff you know and love. And I'm going to finish the show and answer some of your questions. Someone asked me what made you get into podcasting, and I was producing podcasts for other people. And I was like, I could do this for myself, and here I am.
Scrolling with Haley. Follow and listen on your favorite platform.